Every 40 seconds, someone, somewhere, loses hope and takes their own life. Yet, in the heart of every community, stands a place meant for healing, support, and unconditional love, the church. But what happens when those who struggle with anxiety, depression, or despair walk into the sanctuary and feel completely alone? What if the very place meant for comfort is also a place of silence around mental health? Today, let's break that silence and explore how faith communities can become true havens for healing. 1. The church and mental health. Breaking the silence. Let's begin with a truth that's often hard to say out loud. Mental health challenges are as real among Christians as in the rest of society. According to the National Alliance on Mental Illness, nearly 1 in 5 adults in the US experience mental illness each year. Studies show these numbers are just as true, if not higher, within church communities. Yet, for generations, mental health was a taboo topic in many churches. People suffering from depression or anxiety were told to pray harder, or that their struggles were a sign of weak faith. Cite Dr. Warren Kinghorn, Duke University Medical Center. Spiritual practices are vital, but mental health conditions, just like physical illnesses, may need professional care, medication, therapy, support. Faith and medicine must work together. Why the silence? Sometimes Christians fear being judged or misunderstood. Others feel guilt, thinking their struggles let God down. Many pastors have never received mental health training. Personal story example. I'll never forget speaking to Sarah, a lifelong believer who battled depression after her father's death. She confided, "At church, I felt I had to wear a mask. I heard people say, 'If you have enough faith, you won't be depressed.' But that only made me feel more alone." Have you ever felt this way? If you or someone you love has struggled in silence, comment below. Your story might encourage someone else to open up. 2. What science and scripture say about community support. Modern psychology agrees. Humans are hardwired for connection. According to Dr. Brené Brown, connection is why we're here. It's what gives purpose and meaning to our lives. Science tells us that support networks, friends, family, faith communities are essential for healing from trauma, anxiety, and depression. But is this only a modern insight? Not at all. The Bible is full of reminders about the power of community. Carry each other's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the law of Christ. Galatians 6:2. If one part suffers, every part suffers with it. 1 Corinthians 12:26. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken. Ecclesiastes 4:12. When Jesus healed, he didn't just fix people's bodies, he restored them to their communities. Expert quote, Dr. Harold Koenig, author of Religion and Mental Health. Faith communities can offer powerful protective factors: belonging, meaning, hope, practical support, and unconditional acceptance. So why then do many Christians still suffer alone? If you believe the church should talk more about mental health, hit the like button. Let's send a message that compassion matters more than stigma. 3. Practical ways the church can support mental health. So, what does real support look like? Let's move from theory to practice. Here are 5 actionable ways every church can become a place of hope for those battling mental health issues. 1. Normalize the conversation. Example. Pastor Rick Warren, after losing his son to suicide, began speaking openly about mental health from the pulpit. He said, "A church that cannot talk about real pain is not a real church." By sharing, leaders show it's safe to be vulnerable. How to? Include mental health topics in sermons and small groups. Share testimonies from people who have found healing. Use biblical stories, like Elijah's depression, 1 Kings 19, to illustrate struggles. 2. Offer training for leaders and volunteers. Many pastors feel unequipped to handle mental health crises. Churches can partner with counselors to provide basic training. How to recognize warning signs of depression or suicidal thoughts. What to say and what not to say to someone who's struggling. When to refer out for professional help. Story. A small church in Texas invited a local psychologist to train its youth volunteers. Within a year, 2 teens credited that training with saving their lives. 3. Create safe, non-judgmental spaces. Support groups for grief, addiction, anxiety, or depression offer lifelines for many. Confidentiality must be absolute. Judgment is replaced by listening and prayer. Even just drop-in prayer rooms or mental health check-ins after services can make a difference. 4. Connect members with professional resources. Faith and therapy are not opposites. Keep a list of trusted Christian counselors and crisis hotlines. Offer to help with logistics, finding care, providing transport, even helping with costs. 5. Be there for the long haul. Mental health recovery is rarely linear. Churches must offer ongoing support, not just a one-time intervention. Remember anniversaries of losses, of recovery milestones. Follow up, pray regularly, send notes of encouragement. Which of these 5 steps would make the biggest impact in your church? Comment below with your thoughts or tag your pastor to share these ideas. 4. Stories of hope. When the church gets it right. It's easy to point out the failures, but around the world, churches are quietly becoming models for mental health support. Let's look at a few real-life stories. Story 1. The Blue Bench, UK. In a small Anglican church, a blue bench was placed in the courtyard, marked, "Someone will listen." Each Sunday, trained volunteers sat on the bench, ready to talk or just listen. Over a year, dozens found hope on that bench, some for the first time. Story 2. The Support Line, US. A large church in California realized that many members struggled with loneliness during the pandemic. They launched a mental health hotline staffed by volunteers trained in active listening and prayer. Hundreds called, not just for advice, but for the comfort of a human voice. Story 3. The Grief Circle, Kenya. After a tragic bus accident, a Kenyan church began a weekly grief circle. Each meeting began with prayer and scripture, followed by open sharing and tears. Over months, the group became a lifeline for dozens, healing not just individuals, but an entire village. Beyond the altar, a group gathers for a mental health support meeting, a testament to the church's commitment to holistic healing. Here, struggles are spoken aloud without fear or shame, and each person is met with empathy and encouragement. A counselor listens attentively, her demeanor gentle and non-judgmental, helping to guide those in pain toward a place of understanding and acceptance. The group shares laughter and tears, victories and setbacks, but above all, they share hope, a hope fostered by the knowledge that they are not alone. Outside the sanctuary, in the bright hallway, children's voices rise in joyful song as they attend Sunday school, their teachers nurturing their curiosity and faith with patience and joy. Further along, a group of volunteers prepares care packages for those in need, their hands working together, motivated by a shared desire to serve and uplift. Each act of service, no matter how small, becomes a testament to the love that flows through this community, echoing the compassion of Christ himself. Throughout the church, subtle cues of hope abound. A golden cross catches the sunlight, its radiance a reminder of faith's enduring promise. Hands fold together in prayer, some worn with age, others small and new, forming a chain of unity that stretches across generations. Smiles break through tears as burdens are lifted, replaced by a sense of relief and comfort. The sanctuary's atmosphere is thick with the unspoken understanding that here, every person matters and every heart finds refuge. In the quiet moments between songs and sermons, the church community moves with gentle purpose. Someone slips an encouraging note into a friend's hand. Another pauses to light a candle for a loved one lost. The flame and rising smoke a silent prayer for peace. A group steps outside into the church garden, where the fragrance of blooming flowers mingles with the promise of new beginnings. Each of these moments, though small, weaves together into a tapestry of faith, resilience, and hope. At the heart of it all is the abiding sense of Christ's loving presence. It is felt in the warmth of a welcome, in the comfort of a shared burden, and in the quiet assurance that grace is available to all. Here, Jesus is not distant or unreachable, but present, walking among his people, listening to their stories, healing their wounds, and shining his light into even the darkest corners. His compassion is reflected in every act of kindness, every word of encouragement, and every hand extended in friendship. As the day unfolds, the church continues to be a beacon for those who seek solace and strength. Its walls echo with songs of praise and whispered prayers, bearing witness to lives transformed by love and faith. In this place, hope is not a distant dream, but a living, breathing reality, fostered by a community that believes in the power of coming together, supporting one another, and embracing the transformative grace of Christ. In the church's embrace, each person is reminded that they are valued, loved, and never alone. Here, faith flourishes, hearts are mended, and spirits renewed. The sanctuary stands as a testament to the enduring power of community and the ever-present light of Christ, guiding all who enter toward healing, peace, and hope.